Hello and welcome back to episode 13 of my Space Engineers Vanilla Let's Play. Slime gloves. I don't think I have had those before. Don't need the enhanced grinder. So let's just come drop that off. Get rid of that. So there's a lot that I've decided I want to do here, but to get started I'm going to need a miner that can definitely operate on the planet's surface here. So I'm going to build myself a hydrogen mine ship, but I wanted to come over here and grab this since it's not far from my base. Right over here, which I have gone ahead and built a tiny bit. I gave myself a landing pad for the Stargazer. Not sure how well it's going to be visible because Europa has been constantly throwing storms at me. I get like 10 seconds of clear weather. But yeah, I've got my docking arms all set up here. This was not easy to set up, but I did. It took a little bit. And I've got one large cargo container down here that actually has all of my stuff in it. So let's just dump all this off. So yeah, this is beginnings of what will be my base. I figure I'll do buildings on either side of this, and that way whenever the Stargazer is parked here it can just connect into both buildings. And this is the beginnings of my ship. The conveyor tubes here and connector are not what's going to be the connector for the ship. That was just so I could get everything set up with hydrogen in this tank to begin with. Already 100% full, of course. So let's go ahead and get rid of this stuff here. I need a large cargo is what I want to put on here. So I'm going to need some interior plates. Which I've got a few in here, so that'll be fine. So let's see. So there's my 3 small connections, which is what I need there, so that this will all be connected properly. Alright, and let's go ahead and make it a 2 cargo ship. Alright. And of course, need to actually get all the parts there. I could actually do this from up top right out of the hydrogen tank if I weren't being so silly. Alright. So this is going to give me side access to small ports. And I can't really do my bottom thrusters here. So let's go ahead and get a conveyor converter on top of each of these. Actually, you know what? No. I want to put a cockpit there. So I'll just use this one. So let's see. Okay, those are in there. Why won't it draw them? Oh, because I'm silly. Those can't go through the small ports. Just a little bit of thinking can go a long way. Let's see. For cockpits that will have a large bottom port, there's the standard cockpit, the flush cockpit, which I really like. And that's... and there's also the cab cockpit. Let's actually go ahead and go with that one. And I'm going to have to do some lines off of that to be able to get my down-facing thrusters good to go. Actually, I don't need that at all. I can do that from the sides. Just like put in a small conveyor. There we go. This will give me down thrust and still room for side thrust, so yeah, let's do it that way. It'll also give me my upward thrust. And I'm going to use large thrusters on the sides here, or on the front and back. So yeah, let's go ahead and get these put together. I might actually have the parts for some, well, just some of them. Don't that just beat all? Wonder if anybody in the comments knows where that game comes from, or what game that line comes from. My God, I can't talk today. Nope, that's not gonna work. I'm trying to pull things through small conveyor tubes again. There we go. Now I've got all those. Now, fortunately, this doesn't have to be a super ship. It just has to be a functional one. So I'm going to need gyroscopes. Which of course means I need steel to put those down. I can never remember which way to actually face these, but I do know that as long as they're all facing the same direction, they should work fine. So let's just get what steel I have in there. Oh. There's only 4, not 5. And weld some of this up while I'm just waiting for parts. There we go. I'm probably not going to make this an actual mining ship. It's going to be more a cargo ship. And oh look, for the couple seconds that we've got it, I'll do a fly around here, and there we go. That's what I was talking about. I get very little time without storms here. But hey, at least now you got a little bit of a look at what's going on here in clear weather. The sun is up. And of course, you look over here, I am not getting much solar at all. So I think I'm actually going to run this base off of hydrogen power. I mean, Europa's got plenty of ice, right? May as well. In any case, let's get some thrusters down. So the large for driving and braking thrust, and then a bunch of smalls. Now, fortunately, hydrogen is pretty powerful. I think this might be enough, but am going to make sure it's enough by actually bumping this out just a little bit more. Okay, so that was all inside? Yeah, okay. Gotta love putting something down and then forgetting exactly how you put it down. Six, 7, and 8. All right. Get all those parts going, and I can actually go ahead and put down the rest of these. Like I said, I just want to make sure I can keep this thing in the air. Do not want to fall once I've got this thing full of ores. Now, fortunately, I do still have somewhere in this ship my tier 3 drill, which will absolutely come in handy for all this when I'm going out to get things. But I know I have enough materials to easily get this ship completed. I'm not sure I have enough materials. Well, not that I'm not sure. I know I don't have enough materials to do the base idea that I have. Because I messed up on the ruinium videos I was making. I took a couple days off when my base my station I was building only had 1 day's worth of power. So I lost all of that. So I'm actually going to go ahead and try building a vertical one here on Europa. Because I think that would make an interesting looking tower. Perhaps. As we can tell by looking at my Stargazer here, I'm not the greatest builder, but I am good at the logistics. So, everything I do is for functionality. All right. There, got all the steel in that I have. Get this lift thrust in here. And then I can work on the larger thrusters. Get that cooking, and I need more energy. Looks like I might get a little clear weather. No, it's still just doing its little snowburst clouds again. It is what it is. Keep making sure I grab from the middle because that's what actually works. Alright, there we go. So that's the driving thrust and the lifting thrust and the braking thrust. So I just need sideways and up and down. So I don't need that many side thrusters or down thrusters. So let's just put these directly across from the actual ports and directly above them. Okay, and I'm gonna need obviously an ore detector and an antenna. Don't need that anymore. So let's see. Actually, let's go with the parabolic antenna and put that up on top. I like that. And ore detector can sit right there. And now let's get these thrusts. So I still need to weld up some things here. I do have this singular wind turbine. That's just to keep the parking deck from flying away or being deleted, especially now that I have everything I own down there in that large cargo. Something I do like with the way this happens is I can walk straight across this. So once I've got these lined up right, I'll probably put doors right over the top of these going into the buildings. Should work out quite well, I think. The hard part, of course, is going to be lining back up the Stargazer every time I come back to land here, which I did put in a camera down here to be of assistance there, and a singular red spot. That camera is lined up with the docking ports on either side, and this red square is lined up with my parking decks connectors. So I should be able to line everything up pretty well in the future when coming back to land again. Because another option I have for finding ore and everything is just taking off in the Stargazer and using the Ore Eater 9000 to go mine asteroids. Wow, we're that close to the Earth-like? I didn't know that. Huh. The more you know. Anyway, let's grab parts. I thought I had already put those in. I guess not. Fortunately, a quick little bare bones hydrogen craft isn't that hard to make. And will definitely be of great use. Okay. So yeah, this should be able to keep itself aloft as long as I come in here and set stockpile off on that. Okay. What? Why? This isn't... Yeah, it's using or hydrogen. Okay, I am most annoyed by this. To say the least. Because now I'm going to have to burn my ship to get this off of the ground. And one of my cargo containers is messed up. Oh, and that connector is broken, so let's just get rid of you. Okay. Production. Are you not making the stuff I need you to? Well, thank you for that. Does anybody else think this makes no sense that I had that? Oh, crap. It makes perfect sense. There's no power on the ship. I'm an idiot. Let's just put all this away. 6 computers and a display. You guys are probably seeing that happen and laughing at me, and definitely laughing at me after it happened. It's fine. But I'm definitely going to be burning the ground as I take off here. Oh, and I never finished those. So let's just go ahead and get all that. I need to get more energy and hydrogen. Good enough. I had built it up that high so I wouldn't have to worry about burning the ground when I took off with it. But fortunately, steel is pretty cheap to make, so let's just go ahead and get myself a single battery. That should be all that's needed. I might also put a engine on here. That could be fun. It also helps if I actually get that on the thing here. Let's see. Battery set right here. There we go. Now everything is online. Woohoo! Nice and fast. Okay, let's bring it back down a little bit so I can work on it pretty easily. And let's grab a connector. 2 ends there. Strix. Okay. I didn't put that on the thing. Small grid, please and thank you. Okay. All right, so let's just go ahead and park this thing back down here. Right after I get my battery pulled down here at the very least. On 9, please and thank you. All right. Just a little bitty ship. Be able to fly around and find things. It's already finding plenty of ice, but you know, that shouldn't be hard to do. That's Stargazer, that's Ore Eater, this is, there we go. Let's just turn that off. Also the antenna. Do not want to give myself away to pirates. There we go. Alright, so that's going to be working on cutting itself, or filling its batteries back up. Now, I did put a couple of things here in case I need to change the way this is all set up so that this container will always be connected. It's always a good idea to make sure that you have redundant connections just in case. So I have 122,000 iron. Let's get all of this put away. Anything else in the other assembler? No. Okay. So let us see. I should be able to make many more thousands of steel plates. Now I had like 300k iron when I landed. This 36 or sorry, 40 by 40 platform, I think it is, took so much uh, iron to get welded up, and was about an hour and a half of work grand total. Oh, that's getting some nice wind juice coming in. Let's see. Need steel. Because let's see, if I want to be able to put doors here on the ends of these, that's going to put one floor right there. And it doesn't have to be the same length as the parking deck here. It didn't hit the ground, it doesn't count. Okay. Pull this out some. Of course, I like to cap off my ends here with a nice little angle piece. You know, same thing I did down here. Same thing I always do on my starter platforms, but this is far from a starter platform. This is going to be where I want to put my refineries, is on this side. And then on this side over here, the same thing. Raise that over, make room for a door. It's awfully close, but that'll be fine. This will probably be living area as well as cargo down below. So it does not have to be as large. So yeah, let's see here. That's about a half a battery. That should be more than enough for me to go somewhere. All right, I put these in because I'm gonna have to cut one of these out to make a T section so that I can have conveyors going further in. In any case, time to take this little ore finder out for a trip. So over here I can see some lighter portions of ice. That should be some ore, I think. Let's just kind of get in low to the ground. Don't know, I have not been to Europa in quite some time. So I can't remember how you find ore patches here. Maybe it's darker ice I'm looking for, which is very hard to see when it's constantly foggy out. Foggy, froggy, same difference. Let's see. So let's just let's go ahead and make this the ore finder, since I've already kind of called it that, and put all of these into a group. Change that. I'll be throwing OF anywhere. Let's see. Thrusters, got those. There we go. This will make things a little easier to fly around. Once I go into groups, Put these on. Because now I can turn off the braking thrust and just kind of fly around, keeping an eye on things. I need more iron. Definitely need more iron. Woo. This thing is pretty quick and light. Let's hope it keeps at least one of those, and it's still pretty quick once I get some ore into it. Yep. Easy way to find out if that will be the case or not. Turn on the brakes, and let's just grab some ice from over here. Could definitely use more ice. Oh, look. Gold. So let's just kind of move over on top of that. Gold and silver. Okay, so let's go over here. Move from current. EOS, Europa surface. Yeah, let's go with ERS. Okay, and we'll call this Electrum. Because for those of you who don't know, Electrum is a one-to-one fusion of gold and silver. In any case, I'm just here for ice. Because I've already burnt out a decent bit of my... Oh. Well, silly me. I forgot to look for my... drill. But hey, at least I've got that marked up. I know where that is now. There we go. Alrighty, so I need a drill. I don't have one anymore? Well, that's fascinating. In any case, large Indus. And let's just go ahead and go to production tools and make myself one. I thought I already had one, but I suppose I did not. It's been that long since I've mined by hand, I suppose. Okay, let's go ahead and do a little cheaty here. Grab my hydrogen tank, stockpile to fill that back up. Stockpile back off. Woohoo! So I definitely have enough lift thrust for the empty ship. So again, let's just go over here, grab a bunch of ice, try to fill it up, and see how well it flies back. Well, full. I do need to put some kind of landing gear on this thing, but I will worry about that at some other point. For right now, let's just grab some ice. Now, I could have right-clicked to get a little deeper to begin with and have less bouncing.
Inventory.
But, you know, it's ice, and I want all the ice.
Inventory full.
Things do get much easier, though, once you've got a nice hull started. I'm going to stop trying to pick it up so that we don't have to listen to the bitch and Betty so much. little bit of a lag spike. I don't see anything else new having shown up, but whatever.
Inventory full.
Go ahead and get all this.
Inventory.
It'll probably take me a good bit to fill up these cargo containers. Oh yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and pause things up. I will bring it back once I've got a full cargo hold. Alright, so a few minutes later, and I am almost done.
Inventory full.
Now, just like on other planets, when you're mining at the surface level, this is inefficient stone on other planets, inefficient ice here. And then as you get deeper, you get to more efficient stuff. This dark blue ice is much more dense, of course, than the light blue ice. And requires less to fill you up. Well, I went ahead and started on the surface because I just don't feel like wasting. Okay, so we've got both of those are full. And so is the cockpit, so is the connector. And I still have 1.89 on me. Okay, so this is completely full and will not accept anymore. Well, it's not super fast at this point, but it's definitely got some motion to it. All right. This is what I was hoping for. It still moves without issue. So I am going to throw some lights on here. Would be very helpful on such a froggy planet. And a couple of landing gear, front and back, just so it can actually not be burning its hydrogen while sitting on the ground. There we go. I don't have my gyroscopes on there, so even though I hit 8, there's nothing there. Whatever. Alright. So I think that is going to be today's episode. I will be doing the building of this stuff on camera. I just wanted to lay out some of the basics here. And I just realized I did this off of the wrong side. Get back here. I do love low gravity planets, man. They are fun. So I'm just going to take that out. Okay, about 16. How's that going to look? Yeah, I think that should work. So let's just go ahead and get back in here and call it an episode. I still have a bunch of steel on me, so let's just dump that off over here. Here we go. I would like to get a nice thumbnail, so I guess I'll get that as soon as I see the weather clear up. I'll get a new picture of our ore finder up there. So if you enjoyed today's video, go ahead and hit the like button down below. And if you want to see what I'm up to next time, there's always that subscribe button. So until next time, have a good one.